Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This week is week 2 of the Murder She Wrote readathon, and today I am starting my Murder She Wrote book. So if you missed any of the videos so far, I'm going to have them linked below, as well as videos from Abby and Nina, Wrestling with Books, and the Disney Sisters. So this is the Highland Fling Murders. Again, if you've missed any of the videos I've uploaded, I will link them below for you to check out information on the books that I'm reading each week. So today's technically supposed to be the beginning of my episode. I chose Ireland, which is read an international book. So this will be my international read, and I cannot wait to see what Mrs. Fletcher gets into. I'm curious to see how many of her friends go along with her on this journey. If you are joining us on this readathon, I would love to hear what you're reading below. And if you are filming videos as a part of this, don't forget there is a hashtag to add to your videos or to your posts on social media, whatever platform you will be sharing your reading on. Make sure you're using that so we can catch up with you guys. And obviously, if you are filming videos, then make sure to let me know, or the girls, all of us, let us all know, because we would love to come and check out your videos. So this is going to be a great week of reading.
Well, you stay here till I need you.
Thank you, Chris. Ah, Jessica and Sheriff Tupper, just in time for tea.
Thank you, not right now.
Miss Overholtz, could I speak to you for a moment?
Why?
I have some bad news, ma'am. Afraid I'm going to have to arrest one of your employees. Calls himself Jack Turney. He's a fugitive.
Jack did not do anything.
You haven't heard the charges, Grace.
Hey guys, so first update on the book. It is a rainy day and I just woke up. So I look like a complete disaster, but I went and poured myself a cup of coffee. It is Saturday morning and Damon has to work, signed up to work some overtime, so it's a perfect day to finish this book, reading in bed. This is just so delightful to sit down and read. It's like you are watching an episode of Murder, She Wrote. It's so enjoyable. You can hear Jessica Fletcher's words come out. You can hear it in her voice. You know what I'm saying? You're reading it in her voice. So it is so great. But there's like a legend of this witch that was murdered years and years ago, and it's said that she haunts the said castle. So certain people have seen her, and even Jessica sees her, and then she feels like, you know, this is just absurd. There's no way that I saw this. I just probably was tired, made this up in my mind. And then another person winds up dead in the same manner that the supposed witch was murdered. They do some digging and find out that another person had been murdered in the same manner. So that's as far as I've made it this point. But it's just so cozy. George, I think it was George, revealed that he has true feelings and really loves Jessica. Yeah, within chapter 10, George says that he's in love with her, and she's basically saying that she's content with her life since losing her husband, and that she has a very full life, and she, you know, really isn't interested in a gentleman caller at this time. So I'm going to keep reading, finish this book on this wonderful rainy morning, and I've got my cozy blanket, and my mug of the day is the Magic Kingdom mug. I also thought this would be a great time to use this candle that Abby gave me during the Christmas swap, Very Bookish Christmas. I mean, look at it, how perfect for today, a person who reads in bed, and it's cotton and rainwater, and it's a rainy day, so how great is this? Now that I've completed the Murder, She Wrote book, I wanted to share my final thoughts with you. Okay, so there was the main plot in the synopsis of this book. And what baffled me incredibly was that really didn't tie into the ending of the story, so I'm not sure why that was actually part of the plot. I don't know if that was like to suck people in of stories of witch trials and like burning at the stake of the witches and things like that. I don't know if that's why it was thrown in there, because so many people are fascinated with those stories. But to me, I didn't feel, unless I missed it, I didn't feel like there was a neat little bow tied up with that story. I don't get it. It was still an incredible read. I loved it. I loved everything about it. It was a sweet little episode in my hands of Murder, She Wrote. I don't understand why so many fellow people who lived in Cabot Cove had to come and accompany her on this book tour. I don't know. I mean, I think it was great of George to extend that welcome to stay at the castle. If you've watched the Murder, She Wrote series, your mind gets so set on how it is, and then like the books were introduced, so it's crazy. You know, I guess we'll just have to chalk it up to like book or movie. So book versus TV series, we know that there's always differences in there that we don't like or don't appreciate or we would have done differently. So I guess we'll just have to love it as it is. So for its entirety, the love of this book, I'm going to give it a 4.5. Do I want to go that way? Yeah, it was a really good time. Like I said, there were a couple of things that I would have changed about it or that didn't quite make sense. So I'm going to give it a 4.5. I have a lot of late night scrolling, anxiety issues, things like that. So to help me unwind, I scroll, which kind of is counterproductive because I think it's said to do the exact opposite. But this ad kept popping up. It's this like plexiglass looking thing that you hold up against your book so you can read at night, like a tangible book. And it's supposed to illuminate your book so you can read at night. So I see this ad and I'm like, you know what? That'll be really great. Let me do that because I'm so hyped about this readathon. I've been consuming a lot more and I just want to see if I can consume some of these books that I'm really enjoying for the readathon at night. So I placed an order for this book that's a pop-up ad on Amazon, or Instagram. If I said Amazon, I'm sorry. But I placed that order. It was $19.99. It had free shipping, but the tax made it like $21. And I go on Amazon to see if a specific order had been shipped yet, something I ordered for someone else. And lo and behold, a suggested item was the same book light for $9.99. $9.99, the same book light. Okay. So I went into customer service for the original light that I ordered on Instagram. I need to cancel this order. I'm not going to pay $10 more for an item that I can get on Amazon for $9.99. Cancel that order, order the one on Amazon for $10 less, and it came. So this is what it looks like. It comes in this box called, it just says light panel, light the page, not the room. So here's what it looks like. Looks decent enough, right? So let's just go ahead and open it. I do have batteries in it. I've already used it. I'm going to include all this footage as soon as you see what it looks like, because I wanted to share with you what it looked like in the daytime. So here's what it looks like in the daytime. Okay? Just this thin piece of, I don't know, plastic, I guess. And then it does take 2 AAA batteries, and then you just have your on-off switch here. So now I'm going to share some footage of me using this while I talk about this product. There is like a little bit of a clunky sound to it, like you're hearing the batteries rattle, or maybe the screws are not tight enough. I don't know exactly what the deal is, but there is a little bit of a rattling. And then when you're holding it up to your book, it's pretty uncomfortable. Like you can't get settled with it. It doesn't fit on all size books. It definitely is an odd shape, honestly, for books. It's definitely not going to fit proper on a page for a full-sized hardbound book. But here you can see it illuminating all of the pages. It is so bright. Light the book, not the room. That is what it says on the box. Light the page, not the room. This shined so incredibly bright. It made it so uncomfortable to even see the words. It reflected this yellowy glow at some point in between the pages. Now, it shows that more in the camera than it did on the actual book, so I wasn't really seeing it. However, it did highlight these really crazy scratches within the plexiglass, let's just call it that, because I don't know what it's made of. So with inside that actual material, you could see some scratches. Now, I thought it was like a hair on it. You know, I didn't know what it was at first, so I like brushed across it. It is not a hair. It's just an imperfection, which is kind of distracting. But more than that, it is so bright, it's uncomfortable. There are no settings on here to make it lighter, to change the color of the light. It's just basic bare bones. So I don't know if the one on Instagram and those ads offer a different solution to the dimness or brightness to it, but I will tell you right now, it was so uncomfortable. I immediately just put it on my nightstand and I went back to my Kindle because if I'm gonna have light illuminating the room, I definitely don't need it to be like 9 LEDs shining bright in my husband's face. So the whole point of enjoying a book at night is not disturbing your partner. I might as well have just left the bedroom light on because it was less bright. I think it was a great concept. It just fell short for me. So let me know if you guys have seen this pop up on your ad through Instagram or any other social media platform. So in that continuation of this vlog, I am going to be starting Cape Refuge, which is by Terry Blackstock, and it is book 1. And it was so hard to shift gears straight out of the Murder, She Wrote book going into this book because I was caught in that cozy blanket of Murder, She Wrote, and then I switched into a completely different writing style and I'm like, whoa, what's happening here? So I'm only on page 45 and I'm super classy using an ADT ad as my bookmark. I was too lazy to get up and get one. But anyway, I'll switch that out in a little while. So this story follows the murder of Morgan and Blair's parents. At the point I'm in right now, like, the son-in-law is being blamed for the murders because it's his weapon that they found discarded near the murders, and there was only a set amount of people in this town who actually had that type of weapon, and yeah, his was the one that was missing, and he was seen to have had an argument with the parents earlier in that day, and they kind of run a Christian, so the town is called Cape Refuge, but they run a Christian, like, mission halfway house kind of hotel type thing. So they take in people who are trying to get rehabilitated out of prison, who've been like wanting to make a difference in their life, and those who have came forward with a profession of their faith and salvation in Jesus Christ. So the argument that the son-in-law was having with the parents is about a person that was living there who was in prison for something pretty significant, who had accepted Jesus as their savior and was going to Bible study. Like, he was doing what he was supposed to do, and he was always lending a hand. He was doing everything a changed person in God does, but he was also like just being a good citizen, just being a good person on top of it, right? So the reason he was getting so up in arms about this man living there is because him and his wife, which is their daughter, lived there to help them out with everything. So he didn't want this type of person living under the same roof as his wife, because he was in fear of like what could happen to her. So he was basically threatening, if you don't get rid of him, we're moving out and we're not helping anymore, blah blah blah. So, you know, he wanted to throw this guy under the bus that he potentially was the one to do it, and then now it's flipped back on him. Like I said, I'm only 45 pages in, so I don't really know who did it. I have no theories whatsoever, but I do know I loved her writing style. Like I said, it was a huge shift from the Murder, She Wrote one into this one, but I did start it within 10 minutes of putting that book down, so that's probably why it took me a minute. But once I got into it, I'm really enjoying it, and this is book 1. So I don't know how many there are. I think there is like a little shared blurb in the back, like first chapter. Yeah, the sequel to it is Southern Storm, so I will definitely have to check that out. So I'm about to read and have a little quick breakfast, but I wanted to show you these few signs that I found at the Dollar Tree. This Easter market one is adorable, and then look at this one with the fresh carrots, 25 cents each. Dollar Tree has really stepped up their game. Even though they've stepped up their prices, their products are now matching that. I added a cute couple of bunnies to my little cocoa bar, And then I switched out my St. Patrick's Day sprinkles for some Easter ones. This is a cute little pack that I got at Walmart. It has bunnies and stuff in it. Super cute. And for breakfast, I am having a cinnamon raisin bagel, some coffee, and of course, this amazing book. Next time on the Murder, She Read readathon, we will finish up our Cape Refuge, start Sundown Motel, and I will also have an unboxing of my book of the month. So I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.